Congrats on your purchase. My name is Ray Rivera, Technical Instructor at the YANMAR Academy. Today, I will walk you through the basic operation of YANMAR's Bull and Longhorn series UTVs and show you some tips on how to get the most out of your machine. For complete details, always remember to consult your UTV's operation manual. Also consult with your YANMAR dealer should you have any additional questions. With that said, let's get started. Before we get to the fun part of driving the UTV, it's important to review basic safety precautions and features. It's a good habit to perform a pre-operational check as outlined in your operation manual. A pre-operational check doesn't have to take more than a few minutes, but it can save you lots of time and possible damage to your machine that could have been avoided with a quick inspection. For this video, we'll be performing these checks on the YANMAR Longhorn UTV. The same procedure applies to the Bull series models. Before you get in your UTV, visually check the vehicle exterior for damage, excessive wear, or any missing components. Now let's inspect the UTV's safety features. This can include the headlights, taillights, and the handholds. Also make sure to read and understand all of the safety labels on the vehicle. The seat belts will need to be inspected too. Look for damage such as tears or cuts. Also, be sure it operates correctly by checking the lock and retraction. Now check the tire pressure. Remember, tire pressures can vary depending on your UTV model and tire size, so check your operator's manual for the proper inflation pressure. Now let's move on to the engine compartment. Lift the cargo bed and visually ensure there are no signs of engine oil leaks. If there are leaks, you need to repair or replace any damaged components. The oil level should also be checked. Make sure the UTV's engine is turned off. Wipe away any dirt or dust from around the dipstick. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it off, and put it back in. Ensure you have it fully inserted. Pull out the dipstick and verify that the oil level is within the lower and upper limit marks. If it is low, add the appropriate amount of oil to bring the level back to the full mark. Alright, so now let's check the coolant level. The engine coolant should be checked with the engine turned off and cool. Check on the left front passenger side. You will see the engine coolant bottle. Visually check to ensure the coolant is at the full level mark. Do not open the coolant bottle or remove the radiator cap if the engine is hot. This could result in serious burns as the system is under pressure. If the coolant is low, refill it to the full mark on the bottle using YANMAR's pre-mixed coolant. Next, open the UTV hood and visually inspect the radiator fins for any debris that could restrict airflow, which could cause the engine to overheat. The last item to check while the hood is open is the battery. Simply check the terminals to ensure they are tight and look for any corrosion. If the terminals are loose, tighten them with a socket or wrench. You can now close the hood and make sure to secure the latches on both sides. When it comes to safety equipment, you and your passengers should always wear a helmet. We recommend you wear work boots, ear protection, and eye protection. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, especially in an emergency situation. Now let's discuss UTV operation. Once your pre-checks are done and you have safety gear on, we can now start our engines. Use the key startup to turn on the engine and look at the instrument panel to confirm fuel level and make sure that there are no warning or service indicator lights illuminated. Allow the engine to warm up sufficiently, especially when temperature becomes colder in the winter. While we wait, depending on the terrain conditions you're going to operate in, you may want to engage four-wheel drive or lock the gear differential. That's as easy as rotating this 3-position knob. It lets you choose between two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and four-wheel drive with lock rear differential. So when should you use four-wheel drive? Generally, four-wheel drive is enabled to increase traction. Examples include traveling in mud, snow, wet grass, or when pulling a heavy load. Always disengage four-wheel drive when traveling on paved surfaces. This will prevent excessive tire wear. If you're in low light conditions, make sure to energize driving lights for better visibility. Next, step on the brake pedal and engage your gear shift lever. Your gear shift lever can shift into reverse, neutral, high gear, or low gear. Low gear is recommended if payload is greater than 500 pounds or if you encounter any big hills and steep incline situations. We all love to go fast, and high gear is considered the operating gear on level ground for faster speed with a payload of less than 500 pounds. So now that we have our UTV set up how we want, it's time to go. The YANMAR Bull and Longhorn are equipped with an automotive-style accelerator pedal to control speed and acceleration. After the desired gear is selected, lift the parking brake completely and accelerate slowly at first while paying attention to your immediate surrounding areas. We recommend you drive slowly at first and only increase your speed after you've mastered all basic maneuvers at a slower speed. If you're moving along and an animal runs across your path or you see a hazard in your way, the quad hydraulic disc brake system allows you to engage both front and rear brakes by pushing the brake pedal. YANMAR UTVs are very stable machines, but just like a regular vehicle, you risk rolling over if you take sharp turns without slowing down first or stomping on the accelerator to attempt to drift. You can also accidentally roll over if you try to do crazy stunts like in the action movies. When you run into big rolling hills, make sure to keep a steady speed with four-wheel drive on and try your best to go straight up or down the hill. Keep your foot on the brake and your engine in gear when going downhill to take advantage of engine braking. If you can't avoid driving on the side of a hill, be aware of any bumps, obstacles, or terrain that might raise or lower one side of the vehicle or cause it to slide. If you begin to slide downhill at any time, you should turn immediately downhill to stop the slide. Last but not least, your Bull or Longhorn can operate through water with a maximum recommended depth of 15 inches. As with any obstacle, go slow, steady, and straight across the shallowest and narrowest portion of any body of water. Keep in mind that fast-flowing currents or deep water can cause loss of control and are very dangerous. It's fun getting wet, but not at the risk of damaging your ride or injuring your passengers. Riding trails in wide open fields is fun, but you're probably going to use your machine for work as well. If you need to tow a trailer or other piece of equipment, the 2-inch receiver and standard hitch make it easy to hook up. Towed equipment should never exceed the towing capacity listed in the operation manual, so make sure you double check that before you tow. When you're towing heavy equipment, always operate in low gear and at slow speed. Don't forget that the UTV responds and maneuvers differently when it is fully loaded up and towing. If you're like me, you'll want to keep your new YANMAR UTV running and looking like new for years to come. Your operation manual will provide a detailed service schedule. That first 50-hour service is crucial. Proper and timely maintenance should keep your warranty intact. Well, that's it for now. If you have any other questions along the way, see your operations manual or your local YANMAR dealer. And remember to visit us at yanmarutv.com.